Hey guys, my name's Jamin. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel where I try to bring you a wide variety of computer DIY, upgrade, and repair videos. In this video, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot an Acer computer that's not turning on, it's dead, it's got either no signs of life or very little signs of life. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to have you guys try is your power button. Just press on it and hold it down for 1 whole minute. Sometimes your computer just gets kind of stuck. It needs that constant on signal. So for some of you, I'd say about 7 to 10% of you, just pressing and holding on your power button will turn your computer on. For those of you that does not help, we're going to move on to step 2. We're going to try power draining your computer in a couple different ways. So first thing you want to do, unplug your charger. Make sure your computer is not plugged into the charger, and then we're going to remove or unplug your battery. Some of you will have an easily removable battery on the bottom. It'll just slide out from your computer. Others of you, like this computer, your battery's inside. You'll have to access the inside of your computer. So I'm going to show you how to get inside this computer, but yours may not be the exact same. There's a lot of different Acer models. If you need help getting into your exact model, leave me a message with your brand and your exact model number, and I'll try to help you get inside of it. Okay, so on your bottom case, you have these 3 screws here, these 3 screws on this side, 2 here near the middle, 2 more in the middle here, and this 1 screw there. After the screws have been removed, I'm going to take my small flat pry tool. I'm going to go around the seam and pry up the bottom case from the rest of the computer. Once you have your bottom case off, this is what you're looking at for the inside of your computer. Your battery is right here. As a quick general computer repair side note, guys, whenever I'm working on a computer in my shop, I have it sitting on an anti-static mat. Either that or an anti-static bracelet are great ideas to avoid damaging your computer when you're working on it. If you guys need any help with any tools or supplies for your project, I'll have a link above, also below in the description. It'll show you all the tools and supplies that I would use on this computer. So this battery is really easy to operate. As you can see, there's no additional screws in here. It's just plugged into the motherboard. So I'm going to peel back this tape that's holding it to some inside components there. Just peel that back. There's some more black tape here that's over the actual battery plug. Be careful, but I'm going to peel that back. Or actually, I'll just remove it. I'll just make sure to remember to put it back on after. And this battery plug is kind of nice because I don't have to pull on the wires. It's got a grip on either side. So I can use my pry tool or your fingernails and push on this side, and that battery plug comes right out. So that's fairly easy to get that battery out. Okay, so now that your computer's been unplugged from the charger and the battery's been removed, you're gonna press and hold that power button again for 1 whole minute. This will drain the power from your computer. What happens is there are components on your motherboard that can start retaining power that shouldn't be retaining power or that shouldn't be retaining that much power, and it can mess up your system. It can stop your computer from turning on. So holding that button down for 1 minute will drain it. After you're done that, we're going to plug both of them back in, plug your charger back in, put your battery back in, see if the computer turns on. If not, then we're going to test them one at a time. We're going to unplug the charger again, remove your battery again, press and hold the power button for 1 whole minute again. After that, we're going to put one of them back. So you can plug in your charger, leave your battery out, try turning on your computer. If that works, your battery may be failing, you may want to replace it. If that doesn't work, then we're going to reverse the process for the battery. Unplug your charger again, your battery is already out, press and hold the power button for another minute, and then now this time, leave your charger unplugged, put your battery back in. Try turning on the computer. If that works, maybe your charger's failing and you need to replace it. If that whole process, that whole testing process did not get your computer to turn on, then we're not looking at a simple power buildup issue. We'll have to move on to another troubleshooting step. One thing I did want to shout out, guys, about this power drain procedure If it happens every once in a while to a computer, that's fine. It's kind of an unfortunate normal thing with some electronics. However, if you find you have to do this every time you need to start your computer, there's a problem. The first thing I would suggest, make sure you're using your computer plugged into a surge protector, and a healthy one, not a super old one that's not working. Don't plug your computer directly into the wall all the time. The surge protector will protect it from any bad power coming through. Also, make sure your computer is not always plugged in and charging. A battery, to stay healthy, needs to regularly discharge and charge. If your computer is always plugged in and your battery's never getting that workout, the battery's gonna go bad and may start affecting your computer like this. If you have checked both those off your list and your computer still needs this every time you start your computer, there'll be a video link below in the description showing you how to test your charger to make sure it's good. At that point, you may want to consider replacing your charger or your battery. Next test I have you run in this video is going to involve your RAM, and just like your battery, some of you may be able to easily access your RAM through one of those quick panels. If not, again, leave me your brand and your model and I can help you get inside your specific computer to access your RAM if it's not easy. Okay, so to test for your RAM and the way we're going to do it, this is your RAM right here. This computer only has one port for RAM. Many of you will have two. So either way, this is the way we're going to test for RAM. It could be loose and that could be stopping it, or one of the RAM sticks could be bad. So the way you operate RAM, guys, there's a spring-loaded metal arm on either side of the RAM stick. To get the RAM out, we're going to pry them apart from each other and the RAM stick will release. Oftentimes it'll pop up like that. You can then slide it out of the RAM port. Now, to make sure your RAM is not just loose, we're going to take it and put it back in. If you notice, there's a long side and a short side, so you can only get the RAM in one way, the correct way. It won't go in the wrong way. So we're gonna put the RAM in, make sure it's flush and even, nice and straight, and then you're gonna press down firmly right in the middle and lock it in place. So try doing that with both your RAM sticks. Let's check if the RAM's not just loose. Try turning the computer on. If that doesn't work, we're gonna test for a bad stick of RAM. Now, if you're like me and you have only one RAM stick, unfortunately, you cannot test for RAM the way that I'm gonna show you. You'd have to make sure you have another stick of good RAM. If you guys need help finding compatible RAM for your computer, there'll be a video link above, also below in the description, that show you how to get compatible RAM, and then you can get a stick and then test it how I'm gonna show you. If you guys have two sticks of RAM in two separate ports, you can test a little easier. We're gonna take one of the RAM sticks out, try turning the computer on. If the computer turns on, you know the RAM stick you took out is probably bad, go to replace it. If the computer doesn't turn on, you're gonna put that RAM stick back and take the other one out. Try turning your computer on. Same thing, if your computer turns on, the RAM stick that you removed is most likely bad, try to replace it. If not, then it looks like RAM has nothing to do with it. We'll move on to test something else. The third and last test I'll show in this video is how to perform a manual BIOS reset on your computer by temporarily removing your CMOS battery from your motherboard. I'll show you that now. Your CMOS battery is right here underneath your solid state drive. That it may be safer to remove your solid state drive. It's held in by a single screw right there, and then it pulls down out of this port. And then you'll be able to easily or more easily access your CMOS battery. You don't need to physically remove your battery, you can leave it down. You just need to unplug it for 15-20 seconds, and that should be sufficient to reset your BIOS system settings. But those are the three tests I'm going to show you how to run on a dead computer in this video. They're some of the easiest and some of the most common reasons why a computer is not starting that I find in my shop. Keep in mind, you may have to try these steps multiple times in order to see results in some of your cases, especially I'm talking about the power drain procedure. You may have to try it 2, maybe 3 times to see a result in some computers. However, if you're still not seeing any new signs of life after these steps, you're probably looking at a little heavier problem with your computer than what we've gone over. You're probably looking at a weird BIOS issue, a motherboard issue, a motherboard component issue, maybe like a power jack or something being bad. I'll go more in depth into other causes, other troubleshooting steps in my next video dealing with this problem. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. Please remember to like and share if it helped you out. If you think it can help someone else out, feel free to subscribe if you enjoy DIY computer content like this. And if you want to support the channel a little further by leaving a tip, it's very appreciated. First, right below the video to the right hand side, you'll see the Super Thanks button. You can click on that. You can select a tip amount here. Second way, you can use your Cash App. Find me at $PC Helper. You can leave a dollar amount and you can even leave a little note. Thank you so much for watching again. I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Talking intro. Okay, so now that your computer's been unplugged from the charger and the battery's been removed, you're gonna press and hold that power button again for 1 whole minute. This will drain the power from your computer. What happens is there are several components on a computer motherboard that tend to retain power. Talking intro. What happens is What happens is there are components on your motherboard that can start retaining power that shouldn't be retaining power, or that shouldn't be retaining that much power, and it can mess up your system. It can stop your computer from turning on. So holding that button down for 1 minute will drain it. After you're done that, we're gonna plug both of them back in, plug your charger back in, put your battery back in, see if the computer turns on. If not, then we're gonna test them one at a time. We're gonna unplug the charger again, remove your battery again, press and hold the power button for 1 whole minute again. After that, we're gonna put one of them back. So you can plug in your charger, leave your battery out, try turning on your computer. If that works, your battery may be failing, you may wanna replace it. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna reverse the process for the battery. Unplug your charger again, your battery is already out, press and hold the power button for another minute, and then now this time, leave your charger unplugged, put your battery back in. Try turning on the computer. If that works, maybe your charger's failing and you need to replace it. If not, then if that whole process, that whole testing process did not get your computer to turn on, then we're not looking at a simple power buildup issue. We'll have to move on to another troubleshooting step.